Okay, so we're back. If you're just joining us, go back and catch video 1. This is a picture with daisies, and it's just one that I took with my camera. It's on my Etsy shop. But anyway, go back and find page 1 because that's got all your colors and everything. All right, when we left, I told you what colors we were going to. 509, 511, and 559. I like to hold my colors usually light to dark. So I've got them in color order here. I think I'm actually going to put the 511. I'm going to put that in the middle. I'm trying to decide if I want the orange to be next to the brown, and I think I do. 509 has a little bit of orange undertone to it, so even though it looks lighter than my 511, I'm going to put it next to my brown. And then I still keep wondering about that. I'm going to flip it back. All right. So I will try to tell you, but I'm holding them in this order. So if I don't tell you which one I'm grabbing, hopefully you can figure it out. 509, 511, and then 559. All right, let's do this. Okay, 559 is the darkest. So I'm going to come in here now, everywhere that it's darkest, and I'm going to put this dark color in. All right. So just let's start at the middle and work our way out. And it's going to look a little dark, but I think that's going to be okay. And if you're not sure, then you're welcome to watch it. And then, you can always hit replay. Now, I know I went over this with the lighter color, but I'm going over it just real lightly with this darker color because that's going to help it to blend in together. And I'm going to do a row of these coming around. I'm actually almost out of camera. All right. So this is a brown that has a red undertone to it. So it should pick up nicely as we keep going into our flower and start adding all of our petals in. All right, don't get in a hurry, just keep coming around. Anything that's got that darkest dark in it, that's what we're trying to do right now. That's where your darker shades are going to be, because that's where the petals are flipped over. It's where your shadows are. So just get that all in there. You don't have to be real perfect. If it goes from dark, dark like this up to light, light graduated, then get a lighter touch as you come up. Lighter touch. Now, if it's dark like this, and it's got a definite edge there and a definite edge here, then you can just do that very definite. You only want to fade it out if it's going to a faded edge. Does that make sense? Like all this is very definite. Right here, we have where it fades some. So that's where I'm going to do definite down here, really define that area. And then as I come up, I'm going to get lighter. That way, as I come in with that next color, I'll be able to blend. All right, does that help? And we're probably going to go over most of this dark area with a lighter color, but we really need this dark to get it grounded in there, to get that base in. Now see here, I'm coming up, going the direction the petal would go, or you can do your circles, but getting much lighter touch because it's going to blend in with that next color. And right now, this is going to be kind of like watching paint dry. Not the funnest. Okay, is that helping with it zoomed in like that? I mean, I'm having to look around the camera, but I'm not as worried about what I'm doing as if it really helps you to see what I'm doing. And I'm stopping from time to time to look into the camera to make sure that that I'm still on the page, because that's always my biggest fear. And I've done it a couple times. Oh, I know I have. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just going in these darks. See, this one's very definite. All right. Go around those really definite areas and then fade as you get to the lighter ones. It'll make it easier for blending later. And that's true for whatever pencils you're using. Okay, doesn't matter. And some of this is just barely a line in there. Okay, these, it's just like barely anything in there at all. But we've got to put enough dark in there that when we come back with our lights, we have those shadows. Like I said, it's almost like watching paint dry. I am going to curve my paper, so I'm going clockwise, go to the right just a little. And then that way I'm going to still be in and I can keep going. These are almost just lines right there, okay? There's a line. I'm not going to do this big stuff on the outside yet. I just don't want to go that far out just yet. We will in a bit. These are shadows. So now if this was not grayscale, if you'll watch, see, like this one is behind these and it's got a flip. That's why that's shadowed. So as you go to pages that are not grayscaled, if you'll kind of watch what you're doing here, it'll help you when you get to regular pages to actually know where the darks should be. So these are almost like teaching pages. But I love how when you do a grayscale, and Nicole Stalker, bless her heart, she sent me my first grayscale book to review. And I thought, why would I do that? I know where the lights and darks are. Got me hooked. I was hooked. Before I knew it, I was making my own grayscale. So it's all her fault. I will tell you the reason I like, oops, there we go. See, I was off the page. I just went right through there. The reason I like to sell on Etsy instead of making a book is because you can pick and choose what you get. When you buy the book, you've got the whole thing, and then you really kind of feel like you're stuck with those pages, even if you don't like them. Can't tell you how many books I have that are just laying around with a few pages left in them because I just don't care for them. And I kind of feel like, oh, what a waste. So, because I teach coloring classes here in my home, I think we have one the first Saturday of March. I'm outside of Dallas and Garland. So, and all that information is on our coloring book group, Coloring Books Keep It Clean on Facebook. So if you're interested in that, you can drop me a line over there and I can fill you in. But yeah, we have classes once every so many months, and it's like a 4-hour class. But what I do is I let all the ladies pick something out of my books to take with them, or if they want to practice, I know one of our ladies, her first grayscale page was during one of our classes. It was one she pulled out of the book, and she did fantastic. Oh my gosh, she's so good. So anyway, yeah, I rather do Etsy and people not be stuck with a bunch of pages they don't know what to do with, because on Etsy you can at least pick and choose. So that's where you'll find mine, and I'll put a link to this back. You should have found it back on the first video. I didn't mention it there, but I will make sure that it's tied in. See, here, still getting all the dark, but don't go into those white areas. Make sure you're doing just the darks. And then go down into these just a little so that you're repeating that color, so it doesn't look like just a stark jump from one color to the next. Okay. If I'm doing a coloring page and I use blue in one place, I like to go ahead and use that same blue in another place just to help tie it together. Well, that's kind of what we're doing here. We've got this darker color. Now see, I went light there because it's not as dark, but it is a dark spot. So, all right, just keep working. I think I'm glad I set the kitchen timer this time. This could take a bit. I hope y'all are coloring along. If you do buy from my Etsy shop, thank you for your support. My videos they've all been free. And so, I just appreciate that. Have a few followers now. Okay, getting lighter as you come out of some of those places. See, it's dark there, but there is still some dark lines here. Lighter touch as you come out of the dark areas. So, in the comments, let me know, do you like... Okay, I know most of you like when I go real time like this, but then sometimes there's dead time and I just sit and talk, because sometimes the quiet is just, I don't know, it's just weird. It's just weird for it to get that quiet. So, would you rather have the quiet and me just shut up? Or do you want to hear me keep talking and babbling on about things? You tell me. Okay, this is actually some greenery. So don't go, this right here is, so don't go into that. Okay, this is actually part of another petal. And then this is back to green again. Let's get some of these in though. Okay, this was petal, this was petal, this back here is green, and that's green. So don't worry about those areas. And I got my white a little bit there. I'm not going to let that destroy me. I'm okay with that. Lots of little shadows. It just takes time. But I'm telling you, the end results on these coloring pages, it's like, bam. They look really nice. So, and see where there's that split in that petal? There's some dark that comes right down between that. We're going to get some of these darks in now on these outer petals. Yeah, if you see something I missed, you go ahead and put it in. I'll find it later and have to go back and figure out what pencil I used and then put it in. So if you see it and you're sure it's a dark, you might as well put it in now. That's why I methodically try to go around on a page when I do this. Okay, now this petal is on top of this one, so there's going to be a little bit of shading there, but not a lot. You see it more on this side with that heavy shadow. Okay, sorry. What I was talking about was right here and right here. This is on top of this, so your shadow here is going to be there, but keep it light. Over here it's much darker. And then this one's really dark that's underneath. And then there's some dark out here. Dark is just from where something else is casting a shadow on it. And without those shadows, I mean, everything would look like just a coloring book page that's flat with no grayscale. So we need to get those shadows in. Very much need those in. Yeah, don't forget to be coming down in here. Hey, look, we're back where we started on this section. Yeah, just make sure you bring some of that down in so that you got some dark down in that middle area too. Just don't accidentally cover those little white dots. Remember, we wanted those. We put them in there for a reason. Now, if you're on a coloring book and your thoughts are, this takes too long, you're just wanting to, whoops, that's actually a leaf. So I'm going to come in with the eraser. If your thoughts are that you just really want to just get that done, now see, it did take some of the gray off my paper. Whoops, where am I? Right here. It took a little bit of the gray off my paper because I pushed so hard, but I'll fix that. I'll fix that later. Yeah, no, if you're on a coloring page and your idea is, I need to just kick out as many pages as I can, I encourage you to rethink that. You know, you need to be enjoying this. It's for enjoyment, not to just get her done, as we say in Texas. All right, so there is a shadow, and it's almost a definite line from that flower overhanging. So on that one, I am going to fade it out a little bit here, but not as much as you would think. And then, do you see where, let's see, we got that one. Do you see where this shadow dips in? That's another shadow. So I'm going to go the direction that the leaf or the petal here is growing and get that shadow in there. But don't worry about blending those just really well. There is a lot of shadow down in here, and some of it in a little bit will actually blend in with the green in the background, and that's okay too. So if you can't see all those lines, just kind of put a curve there and just do a couple of curves there. And then bring it back in. You can do that. It's not hard drawing. It's just a little bit. We just want it coming in enough that we can put that dark green down there, but yet see the very edges here. And like there's going to be a green stem here, but part of this right through here is still part of this petal. Okay, so this is where it helps to color along, I guess. Because of me taking the picture, I really know where those lines are. Now you can get right up next to that flower. Try not to get into it. If you do on accident, it's not going to be death and taxes. I'm doing a little bit lighter here as I come down. just so that I can blend in to our next color in a little bit. And when we start putting our next two colors in this, that's when this flower is really going to come alive. All right, now this here is a shadow from this being over the top. So when you're coloring on a regular page, you can go ahead and put shadows like that in if they're not drawn in. Just think what's on top, what's underneath, what should be overhanging where, and that's very definitely overhanging, so it gets that shadow. Okay, and this is underneath. This is definitely some darker areas, but make sure you're touching lighter. See, I'm going down and then lifting off the paper. I'll come this way and lift up off the paper. And I do that in those areas because it's going to make it easier to blend the other colors in a little bit. Now we're back into all these little spaces that we didn't get to yet, and then we'll finish those outside parts, and then it will almost be time to take another break. Let's see, last break I got 2 dark chocolate Hershey's Kisses and my glass of water, which my glass of water is sitting right over there, and it's kind of hard to stop in the middle of this, but I got it just in case. But yeah, my doctor told me, she goes, at your age, you really need to have a little bit of red wine in the evening. It's good for you. And I'm like, that's swell and all, but I don't know. I guess is it tannins that's in wine? I know it's schnapps or hops or something that's in beer. They kind of get stuck in the back of my throat and make me cough. So I really don't like to drink wine. So she said, well, go with dark chocolate. And I was like, oh, I can so do that. And at first I was like, dark chocolate. But after a while, oh yeah, I love dark chocolate. So the only thing is I'm doing the Hershey's dark chocolate, and I'm not sure that's the dark she meant. But dark chocolate Hershey's Kisses, 4 is 1 serving. No, wait, 9. 9 is 1 serving. So usually I have them 4 at a time, and my crash time is usually about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I just feel like I'm in a nose bomb, just dive off into Neverland and sleep. Whoa, sorry. I went and I did this and this and this and this. All right. So I try to have some of my chocolate right then about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Yeah, I just had 2 of them a while ago. I have been up since, oh goodness. Now this, see how these went, these here, they went and just kind of curved over. That's what's happening right there. So let's find the edge of that. Do you think it goes all the way? I don't think so. I think there's like a line right here on where that petal stops. So we're going to do this in the dark and then come up and get lighter. But so anyway, yeah, during the last break I had 2 of the dark chocolates. But yeah, I'm like, oh, 9 pieces is 1 serving. I could certainly take care of that. And that was actually the shadow from this petal onto this one. So let's take that back off. No big deal. See, right back. Now, if you're using Prismacolors, your erasing is going to be a little more difficult to do, but it can be done. A lot of times, if I have messed up with Prismacolors, I will just leave it and incorporate that color in. So, yep, nope, meant to do that. It's going to be that color. And just not really worry about trying to erase everything. So, yeah, so y'all need to tell me, do you want me to keep jabbering or you want me to be quiet in these videos? And I won't post this until the whole page is finished. So if you're telling me now, oh, please just be quiet. I'm not going to see that till this video's over. So, oops, sorry, you're stuck with me for this one, for this series. So, anyway, I am a talker. Always have been. You know when you get those marks in school that says talks too much? They might have invented that because of me. Okay, we're coming down that last side now. Good thing, because we're at 25 minutes. Now, this is all some of the green, but this petal comes from right here and comes up and then goes under the edge of that leaf. So it'll be lighter in here, but then the heavy dark is around that tip and all up in here. Now you notice I've not been real perfect with coverage on this, and that's because I know we're going to come back in and put in 2 more colors yet. Now there's some dark there. Look at these. This is almost medium, but I want a little bit of this dark undertone. And then this is the dark, dark again. Goes all the way up there and there. Just a little bit through here. That, I'm thinking that that is a circle that's where the sun just shined just right and picked up a highlight with the camera. So I am actually going to not even worry about that. I'm going to act like it is part of the petal. You could do a water droplet or something right there if you wanted. I'm just not wanting to magnify or, you know, land upon that one piece. Okay, it's last little bit way down there. Little petals sticking out. Little bits of shadow. Okay, and this is green. All of this area is green. So it is kind of weird that that's that shape, but it is. All right. Almost done with this color. All right, let's zoom out, see what we've done. No, out, not in. All right, so you should be with all of your darks finished, and you can't really tell a lot, but trust me, when we get started with our next colors coming in, now see if I turn it like this, can you see the color? Can you see that dark up in there? I have to catch it with the light just right, but you can see that. See all these darks in there? We did that. All right, so time for another break, and when we come back, we're still going to have this color close by in case we find anything we need to fix, but we're going to go on to 511 and 509. So take another break. I will see you in a bit.